than friends, less than lovers, pals. Oh, yeah.
Party rockers in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
And we gon' make you lose your mind.
We just wanna hear you
Shake that.
Woo!
God. Sorry, guys, we had to jump in on that.
Do the kids know that song?
Yeah, the kids know that song.
If you're one of the kids, do
And
you
you-
know that song?
If you don't,
And it's maybe we just weren't singing it well. It's Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO. Are you familiar? Because that's our party anthem.
I remember whenever I saw people wearing LMFAO merch, I was like,
Yeah, it was like, does your mother know what that means?
that's bad. You're crazy.
I remember there was a girl in, I want to say 8th grade, but maybe it was like freshman year of high school, that was wearing booty shorts that said DTF. And I asked earnestly, truly, because this was in the time of like LOL, and I was like, what does that mean?
This was in the time of LOL.
Like when that was a big deal, when LOL was first really starting to get into people's like, when people started saying LOL.
To be at the birth of LOL, who do you think was the first person that was like, they like laughed out loud and they were like, how do I express this?
Well, I think to be fair, the generation before already had what's rolling on the floor
know.
laughing.
Oh, you're right. Wait, was
So-
that first? Did ROFL
Yeah.
come before LOL?
I think it's like an 80s thing.
Okay, if you were there,
If you were rolling on the floor laughing first, was that before the guy was laughing out loud?
yeah, go to Hey There Pals. Guys,
to
it's not Hey
Hey
There
There
Pals.
Pals.
It's Hey
Oh, and
There.
also, are you guys friends with the guy who was laughing his ass off?
Yeah, does anybody know the original guy who laughed his ass off?
And are you the friend? And again, like, is the clique the guy who's rolling on the floor laughing, the guy who's laughing out loud, and the guy who's laughing his ass off?
What if maybe he had like he carried his weight in his ass, right? And he was really jolly, and maybe he like got out of a funk.
It's like a
and
Santa
he started
diet.
laughing more, and because of that, he literally laughed his ass off.
Don't they say people who laugh more live longer?
In that case,
If not, I'm saying it.
guys, we're gonna live forever.
Forever young. Because that's kind of the theme of this week's episode. Because if you haven't guessed, the party don't stop.
Yeah, and guess what? You don't need a million balloons, banners, tinsel, hats, and fairy wings to make the party.
But it helps.
It sure does help.
Because here's the thing. You guys have probably heard Millicent and I say the party don't stop. It's kind of become a saying of ours. And I even explained it to my dad when I was home of it's this thing that you and I have started saying when it's like, hey, we got free will.
Yeah. Ain't it
We
awesome
can
that
add a little fun twist to this thing.
Ain't it awesome that we get to keep living this?
It
Doesn't
don't
it rock?
stop.
And it started because at first it was like a weekend that was back to back, either parties or just a good time. But then it became, oh, the party's over. It's now Sunday afternoon. We're on the couch and we're putting on a movie and we're both going to like nap and then also journal.
I think
and
also,
that is the party not stopping.
you and I were friends for about 2 years before we actually lived together. And I think that we always have so much fun together that I think we got used to being a little bit like, oh man, I got to go home.
Yeah.
And then I got like not hang out with Millicent. And also like my senior year, I was friends with the people I lived with, but they were just all so busy. Like we weren't really
Also,
hanging
your
out at
friends
the
were
house.
all a year older, so they had like
a
all
lot of them
left.
have left. Yeah.
And that's when I swooped in.
Or we're getting married off. Just
Yeah.
leaving. Guys, don't ask. But I think now you and I will have that thing where like say a lot of times I feel like we'll be out say like at Target. So a lot of times we have to run errands and we'll be like, well, we both have to go to Target, we both have to go to Walmart, let's just go. So we'll go together. And then we'll kind of be like, what are we going to do tonight? And then we'll be like, oh yeah, we like live together. Like we don't have to stop. This wasn't the only hang we're getting today.
Oh, get this, guys. The
party don't stop.
We're going to have to keep reiterating that. Because sometimes
it's easy to forget that life is a party.
and that the party is happening. I think it's easy to forget that because sometimes life tries to stop the party. There is a party actively being stopped,
Closed, silenced.
A party's
Out of
lights
stores
being
in
turned
America.
out, and that place, that party, is Party City. For those of you who are unaware, The Great American Institution. I think they started in America. They could have been Canada.
We did
see
have a
them being
Canadian pal comment that the Party Cities are still open in Canada. So
good for you guys. You guys deserve it.
But they've been hauling.
You guys aren't that.
All of this warehouse stuff, and they're like new stuff coming every day to these Party Cities everywhere. 50% off.
So you better believe, we were hitting up that blowout sale that everything must go. If everything's got to go, we got a place for it.
Yeah, hey, we got a garage with a couple more inches we could fill.
So for our audio listeners, we went to Party City, and for our visual listeners,
for our visual, yeah, visual, and you're listening,
and for our YouTube pals, as you can see, we went to Party City, and we took advantage of that blowout sale. Now,
we blew out that sale.
Guys, we blew that sale out of the water, man. Oh my gosh.
We blew that sale.
If you tried to go back to that sale, smithereens.
It's blown.
Smithereens.
Up.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. When we were walking on the aisles, and many of the aisles it was 75% off, 50% off, 40% off, 30% off,
Some
and 25%.
were only 20% off.
Yeah. But can I say this? Something that they were doing that was really great. They had the papers up that said, this is the 75% off section. So here's a list of all the prices and what it would cost. Thank you. Hey, from a person who doesn't enjoy math and numbers.
I know I should be able to do that.
And I know I don't want to. But then I have to do like 3 steps on the calculator. And
I'm just rounding. Like I can get there rounding wise. If it's like, 75% off, that's like a third of it. Like 3/4 of it.
I mean 50. Oh, yeah, you give me 50% off. Yeah, I can get that. I can get that right here in the old noggin.
Whatcha?
Start throwing in some other numbers and who knows. But we were truly just going up and down the aisles. I really had to talk Maddie off the ledge of getting a full like alien costume that was only $11.
Mm-hmm. No, guys, I kept going back.
It had extended arms. She kept going, I mean, what if we both just got a costume or something? And we both just like found
Guys, there's something in me that like, oh man, I wanted it.
Yeah.
Because the mask was, guys, I had spent so much time looking at
I feel like you should go back and get it.
Let me describe what it was. I could probably find a photo of it online, but it was in a flesh-like alien. Like the skin was kind of looked human skinish, but more gray, I'd say. Yeah. It had arm extensions, so it had these things that I assume you hold in the sleeves that are long. And then the face had about 6 eyes that were like black. Mm-hmm. It was creepy. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, I ain't ever looked like that before.
Yeah. She would know. Maddie can't have that kind of thing because she has proven herself to be somebody that enjoys lurking in a shadow and popping out at you every once in a while here and there.
Every once in a while.
If she had that costume, the way that Papa would end up accidentally karate chop. Yeah, she would punch
hit me
you
with a crowbar.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I spent so much time looking at it like that. What I was looking at the picture of. Keep in mind, this is a child's costume. But it's size 16. 16 boys.
And honestly, to be fair, you can't even.
Boy.
Their face was covered. We couldn't tell that was a little boy. No idea.
No, but it just was like child, like XL 16. I could do that. I flip it around finally just to get a little closer look. On my final kind of like, okay, it's now or never. I got to decide if I want it. I flip it around. No, guys, the eyeballs aren't black. They're like a teal glowing blue. She's pretty. She got long arms.
She got the Miley Cyrus eyes on that picture, just like,
but 6 of them.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
I should have done it.
Yeah. There were some hanging lights that almost got us, some various crowns. We spent a long time staring at the nylon balloons.
The lady in the back of the store, we were looking at the wedding stuff because they had like some fun like chalkboards and stuff like that. And this woman back there goes, so it's all the way in the back corner of the store.
The whole store's on sale, by the way.
There's signs everywhere.
You can't at the very front of the store
is closing.
There is a sign that says a massive board that says everything must go, and they're even selling the grocery carts and
like shelves,
aisle shelves.
Okay. This one gets to the back of the store
Somehow
she's looking at the stuff with us. We have a little bit of like we go for the same thing at the same time. And then she goes, "Sorry." She's like, is this whole thing 50% off? Like the section. We were kind of like, she was like, "Is this 50% off?" We were like, baby, look around you. Baby, if your mind's blown by this section being 50% off, do a 360.
You got to see the alien over there in the kids' costume section.
You got a little boy, 16 boy.
16 boy.
I know what he's being for Halloween.
But he can't have that one.
That was mine.
That one's ours.
There was 2.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't want to get it without my buddy. I wanted my pal to have it, too. And I didn't want to make you get it. Because it was just like, yeah, and then 2 alien costumes. It is a little excessive.
Yeah. Oh, also, Also, real quick, the party's not stopping. The party is, in fact, if you may shift your attention to the shirts on both of the pals right now. Yeah, we finally got our order. We are wearing property of Pal's Whimsy Department t-shirts in blue, which you can purchase at HeyTherePals.com.
My childhood best friend wrote in, so if you're listening, my childhood best friend wrote in, Ashley, and she was like, she ordered a shirt, but she was like, I didn't want to get the gym ones because it looks too much like, shout out Thurmont Middle. That's the school I went to, and they looked just like this.
Well, that was the goal.
Kind of why I wanted to
That
get
was
it.
the goal.
No, Millicent crushed it.
So
that was my dream. So I was like, sorry, Ash, that is why I like these.
Yeah, but thank you to everybody who's purchased merch so far.
Thank you, and it should be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Should we say now? Sorry, a little housekeeping.
Yeah.
Ours printed a little weird on the sleeve. If yours printed weird,
if you get this shirt, if you got the Whimsy Department and either of those shirts that have this P on the sleeve, if you get it and the P looks wonky because ours looks a little wonky, we reached out to them already, and you'll be able to get a reprint and or a refund, whichever one you'd like. But yeah, we'll fix that. But this is just an issue that we noticed, and we were so glad we ordered this specific sample and we saw it. So if that were to happen, just reach out to us. But you can also reach out directly to Printify. So, anyways, that's just a quick housekeeping thing. Whoa, come back!
Got me.
Come
the
back!
Party's got me.
Hey! You let her go. In all honesty,
Does something like that happen in Stranger Things? I've never seen Stranger Things, but I imagine that's what's happening in it. Kids are getting sucked out of kind of orbish like things.
I think you are meshing Stranger Things and It. I feel like you might be.
All of those little kid movies are the same to me. There's another little boy one that came out too. There was like a big era of little, because there was the Seth Rogen one, bad
Pennywise
boys, good
was
boys.
Little Boys.
Pennywise? No, that's it. You just said
That is
that.
it.
We've already been there. We've said
Right.
God, there's another one because there's.
Is that Skarsgård boy okay?
Bill,
Yeah, is he
the
okay?
main one.
The one that's doing all the. Is he okay?
I think maybe yes, because his family is so talented that I think it's a little bit of an Ian McKellen thing where they're all just kind of like, I don't know, we just kind of act like that thing and then we don't take it home with us.
Because
he's good at being
he
spooky.
did Pennywise. He just did Nosferatu. What was the other one he did?
He's a spooky fella.
Yeah. In my mind, he's the barbarian monster, but I know he wasn't. With the hanging knockers.
Yeah, who? That was great.
Spoiler alert for Barbarian. Some knockers. Crazy
Knocker
ones.
alert. So Party City is closing. So we went crazy. The party don't stop. We
wanted to go celebrate Party City by getting some hell of a deal. And
Because-
we still spent way too much money. Let's be clear. We still spent too much money
yeah.
that we frankly
shouldn't have. But,
when he said that number, I was like, really? I
was
could have
like,
sworn all this was
wow.
75 to 25 to 30 to 45% off. That's crazy.
turns out $5 plus $5 plus $5 plus $5 plus $5 is a lot.
And I will say, strolling those aisles, I can understand why Party City is going out of business based on the prices of plastic tablecloths being $4.99. What's going on here?
Now, the prices they were at now, even now, some of them I still was like, I'm not going to spend the money on that.
And I hate that.
I'm not going to spend $4 on
this economy?
a bandana.
No. We had to really yank ourselves away from some leprechaun hats, though, in the St. Patrick's Day section. We literally, guys, we went back and forth. I'm not telling you what we did get.
It is a little funny, because I was about to compliment us where I was going to say, I think you and I did a really good job of being really honest with ourselves of like, do we need this? Will we actually use this? Because
we still got things that are dumb.
We have events that we know we're going to have, like hosting and stuff like that for us. So we're like, we may as well buy stuff for that now.
Mm-hmm.
But we did a good job of kind of drawing the line and being like, do we really need these leprechaun hats? But boy, we sat there for, guys, I'm not joking, maybe 5 minutes going, but or do we want this thing? I don't know, because if we do this, then we can do that.
You can get the flag, but at the end of the day, I can make
You
a
could
flag
just make a
pretty
flag.
easily.
Why would we spend the money on that?
Yeah, we were really making some tough calls.
So I think we did well with it.
Yeah. But here's what we learned when we left. Not what we learned in that moment, but I think what we've
been
realized
learning.
and remembered.
Yeah.
As we stepped out of that Party City, as we stepped out of that city that was closing down, we realized that the party is still continuing.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So where is Party City now?
Whoa, it's kind of like the spirit, as Party City's body and carcass deceases, people picking it apart, vultures coming, buying balloons, buying the shelves, buying the carts. Party City,
I do want a grocery cart.
its body is no more. Jeff Bill said like 3 times, was like, we can get a grocery cart. I was like, I can't wait to find out what we're going to use that for. We're sitting in it for an episode. We're each sitting in grocery carts.
I would rock.
But
You'd love it.
as its body is dying, its soul is being lifted out, which means it's kind of out in the air now, kind of like a mist sprinkling all over.
But it has to go somewhere.
Where is it gonna go? Oh, it's forming. It's kind of like swirling together.
Oh my gosh.
The party.
Is
It's in us.
Party City is within us all.
It's in you.
It's in me. And you.
And me.
And them.
And your dog. And I even say your dog.
It's in your dog.
Your dog has. Check your dog. Check your dog, because some dogs might not be able to handle
Go ahead and
Party
rub
City.
your cat's belly. Find out if Party City's in there.
Go ahead and put your ear to its tummy. Yeah, I would say anything is small down to a hamster. Mice might have Party City in them too. I don't know.
Who are we to make that
Who do we say? They
decision?
definitely have it.
No, they've got them in them.
Look
I
it.
mean,
You
look
guys
at
see
this.
this?
Look at these guys.
You see your little party hats?
Yeah, they said we wanted to party too.
And if we may say, Kermit is looking funky fresh.
yeah, no, he looks
funky,
sick
fresh,
as hell. He looks so cool. Gosh, he's so cool. What a guy. Man.
Guys, and then you see this banner we got, and then we got big ol' letters. We couldn't find an S. That's why it just says Pam.
Yeah, we couldn't. There were no S's left.
Unfortunately, the
Absolutely
P is
none.
very close to the color of our wall, but nothing we can do about that.
If we may be honest, the balloons are not from Party City. Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
can we have a little confession
Can we
moment
be
here?
honest with you
Can we-
guys?
I've
Press
kind of been
conference?
holding that stress of being like, and also the confetti thing. Like,
The tinsel is
we
from.
zhuzhed it up a little because
Yeah, okay.
money doesn't go far at Party City, even in 50% off.
Even in a blowout, the money's not gonna
Even
go
when
far.
we're blowing out Party City, money
Money
talks.
ain't gonna be able to get tossed so far.
we can't afford the big balloons.
So these balloons are actually one of our dear pals. It was her birthday.
No, these were actually from a baby shower.
But they put them in her office for her birthday.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
It was from work. There was
Yeah,
a baby
yeah,
shower. Then they put them in her office, and then she got
Yeah.
to bring them home. And when I saw a picture of them originally, I was like, "Oh, those are beautiful!
They
Wow!"
look beautiful.
When I
Normal
walked in-
size balloons.
And they were in our house. They are
It's bigger than my
so
head.
big, and they're also at the fun phase. These are some rich balloons. These balloons have a 401k. I'll tell you that right now. Their portfolio is impressive. Oh.
Doing a little balloon talk. Could you guys hear me?
I personally love when balloons that are helium filled get to the point where they're kind of like floating
Drooping,
lower,
yeah.
and it does
It's like, that's my
feel like
friend.
it's just a buddy.
It feels like Blue from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. I always loved him. I was like, you seem like a
Like
good
this
time.
guy is just chilling next to me, like sitting level,
Oh,
just chilling.
party, don't stop. Party, don't stop. Party, don't stop. Okay, party, don't.
Oh no. Oh man. Every
Not
time.
planned.
Every time. it
Not planned.
happens.
Not planned. But I hope you all were like, well, that was the obvious natural rhythm for when to say okay.
Yeah.
Because you guys felt it too.
Yeah.
Guys, these balloons. I don't know the fate of these balloons for the next segments, because.
Is your that one maybe just push it to? I feel like it was better at the side, right?
But but it's just a little too. Hang on.
Just tuck
think,
it.
I think I can.
Sorry.
think. Hey, sorry.
quick
We're doing
little,
a
quick
little
balloon.
rearranging.
My balloons are really well behaved. Can I say that?
I know.
I just have
but you
more
got
room.
space
I have so much more room on the
in
side
this corner.
because you're in the corner.
Yeah. It's okay. They're my friends. I'm not upset at them. I just am like a little like, hey guys.
Because sometimes there's situations in life, I'd say, where there's an opportunity to get overwhelmed by something.
Yeah.
Or to be turned away from
To
an
be like,
opportunity
this
or
sucks.
from a vibe because you're like, this is just kind of frustrating, huh?
It's gonna make me a little upset. This one aspect of it's gonna make me upset. But here's the thing. You see what I did? I made peace with it. Because the party.
Part of being at a party is having some balloons.
But guys, every party, especially if it's not when you're hosting, is gonna have some things that maybe you don't love. Maybe you don't love that you have to drive kind of far.
Yeah.
Maybe that you don't love, and we're not even just talking literal parties. It could be going to your dentist.
Yeah.
Like, you might not be
Guys,
looking forward to X, Y, and Z, but I bet there's 100 other little things that you can find to love.
Hundreds of little things that you can find and you can celebrate with it because there's different elements to every party. There's not only the dance floor. There's not
No.
only the snack table. There's not only the mingling.
And again,
Metaphor. It's a metaphor, guys.
Because
And that's a good thing because not everybody's a party person. In terms of the literal part.
and also we're talking about the life of party. And again,
Everybody's a party person, but not everybody loves parties.
Should we come up with like a way to distinct between like a literal party and the party of life?
We just
POL party of
I think POL is party of life.
party of life.
Poll.
Pole, and then what's the other one?
Just party.
We're keeping party for that one. Yeah, that makes sense.
The POL and the party.
The POL.
Yeah, so guys, just so you're aware, POL,
Party of life. We're talking about the metaphor, the bigger party.
Yeah.
And then when we say party, we're talking about a little party where you go to, maybe dance, maybe it's just a book club kind of party, whatever it may be.
We've said it before, where two or more are gathered, that is a party indeed.
We've said it
We have.
already.
And sometimes we joke about things that we've already said, and like it's like famous quotes. Sometimes we have a little laugh about that. We did say that two or more are gathered at the party. That was us.
That was us.
That actually was.
That
Guys,
was
I'm worried
us.
you don't believe us sometimes.
we were the girls who cried. That was us.
Yeah. The girls who cried, that was us.
Our children's
It's
book
going to be a
coming.
nightmare one day when somebody fully does plagiarize one of our ideas and we can't.
And then we're
like,
like, no,
they're
that
like,
one was us.
they clearly have a history of doing this bit. We're like, we live in the bit, please.
We did at one point. We had said that we were the Life is Good stick figures, and somebody tagged us.
We had two different people tag us in
Life is Good. It came out with like a shirt that you can
They
slide.
didn't. You can't buy it. It's not anywhere on their website.
What?
I checked. I got so excited, guys. It's a shirt
Okay,
that has
then we'll make it.
like
we'll just make it
hand
for
glove
ourselves.
holes on the back so that you can hug and slip your hand in the back.
Listen, it's creepy. It's more
We
for
would
the
not
bit.
enjoy the
no,
feeling
but
of
you
it. Both of us would
funny.
actually be like, oh.
It's funny. Oh, and then you get the wrong person sliding their hands in there. Oh.
No, that's for your best friend.
That's only for your pal. The gloves are pal only.
Pal.
Speaking of, in our final few minutes before we wrap up this little segment,
And then we tell you about some parties in life that we've been
some
to.
kind of different stages of parties and POLs. Should we talk about the friendship trailer?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
That's actually what our Jamie Leeing has become. If you didn't watch last week where we were Jamie Lee Curtis. But the trailer for the Tim Robinson movie
Entitled Friendship with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. That's your first pal pick of the week.
Pal pick of the week.
folks.
It's not out yet, but go watch the trailer.
Yeah.
It is
They say pals.
he says pals in the first 30 seconds. I paused, I freaked out. Then he later on literally says, and I can't help but see the future, and it's full of pals.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Did you read my dream notebook?
If you guys don't know, we already are obsessed with Tim Robinson,
We love
and this
that guy.
love him. This is dream come true.
Anybody who's
Him
seen him was like,
working with
yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we can see that. You have hot dogs on your set.
You spend multiple nights a week at Wiener Schnitzel. We have been trying to incorporate the schnitz more into our day-to-day
Yeah, we
lives.
just kind of feel like if we're talking the talk, we should walk the walk.
Maddie's had a Wiener Schnitzel
yeah.
air freshener hanging in her car from the woman who I bought a hamster from.
Yeah, I didn't even buy. I was gonna buy it. She was having a yard sale. While she wasn't selling the hamsters at the yard sale. Two separate things.
The woman
happening.
whose house she was crashing at was having a yard sale, and she had all her hamsters.
All her
upstairs.
hamsters with
Can you
her?
imagine letting your friends stay at your place while they're like going through something? I don't know what it was, and
Yeah,
they
I think like a divorce.
have a whole litter of
And
brand
she's
new hamsters.
Actively breeding hamsters through her depression, and she's there, and so she had like a little box of things she was also selling at the yard sale, and one of them was a Wiener Schnitzel air freshener, never opened, pristine condition.
Guys, are you kidding me?
You find that's Treasure Grove,
Yeah.
jackpot. I pull it out and I say, how much for this? And she was like, you can just have that. And I was like, my lucky day.
She's like, yeah, your friend's paying me so much money for a hamster.
Oh my god,
Guys,
no, we can't talk about that.
no.
It made it home.
The hamster got home, and she lived really long for hamsters. She was like almost 4 years old. That is 98 in hamster lives.
Again, if you've got a hamster, is Party City in them? But anyway, go watch the friendship trailer.
Yeah, go watch the friendship trailer. That's your first suggestion, and then comment. Oh yeah,
Yeah, baby.
Yeah!
That's the
Pals
stuff.
showing up
Pals.
for duty. You don't have to do that, but it'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
If you could do that exact thing.
Yeah, or just
Would
comment
love.
on our video if you want. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I meant on our video. I
Oh,
meant go watch it, come back, comment that.
Oh.
You can comment that on their trailer too. That would actually be awesome. That's even better. Go comment it on their trailer and then everybody like it.
Please.
There's 100 of that long specific posts of the thing you said.
yeah.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
And then tag us.
And then tag us.
Yeah. Just if you wanna.
So that's here we go.
Here we go,
Guys, because whoa. Is it over? No.
No?
Wait, there's another door. The music turned down in this
Whoa,
room, but
wait a minute.
There's another door at the end of this hall, and I can hear
Carly Rae Jepsen's playing.
Oh my God, Carly Rae Jepsen's here! Wow! We're about to open the doors. Bye.
They tried to make us believe the party would stop.
They told us the party would stop, but it's not gonna. We're just the Joker, but for like friendship. We're like they thought they weren't gonna make friends
They
tonight.
told us they were going to close Party City and that the party had to stop. And we said no.
We said the party sent us. We said the party sent us.
Surely nobody will show up to this blowout sale.
Whoa. Sorry, that was the in-between between the two party rooms.
That's actually what we're doing every time that we say we'll be right back. We rock back and forth for about 30 seconds, and we just seethe.
We mumble a lot of they said. A lot of they said. They said.
Don't worry about who it is. It's an enigma.
Are we the they that we're talking about?
Shoot. Whoa.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. So we open the other party door. Carly Rae Jepsen singing.
We might cut that out.
I might cut that
Yeah,
out.
or mute us or like.
You can't
I'll say that we were just discussing Halloween secrets. We were just pitching Halloween ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come up with.
You guys are like, you're the ones that tell us not to bring up the costumes and the wigs.
We'll make a little graphic to be like, we are now talking about. The pals.
Halloween
planning. Because at some point when we have our Palanner,
Guys,
because that's gonna come from a genuine place. Because I love a good planner.
we both.
If there's two people who have researched the planner market, it's us.
You're looking at them.
We've tried a lot of different options.
Yeah.
To get to make one day. Wow, the dream. That could be amazing. Party don't stop, you guys. And we're going to talk about a couple different kinds of parties because this, again, is not a literal party. It's the party of life. But as many of you know, Millicent and I
Because
both...
we won't stop talking about it.
We haven't stopped. We both got ClassPass for a month. I got the like $5 one, and Millicent had you were doing the $5 one first, and then you had got one for Christmas.
My brother got me a month.
That's amazing. That's a great gift.
Good gift.
And so mine was about to expire, and I was like, so we gotta get some classes in. Now this is where the party don't stop, you guys, because we've done yoga classes.
We've done it.
We've done spin.
We get
never
it.
doing spin.
Never
class
doing
again.
spin
Hate
again.
that.
Never
it hurts
again.
My butt
I did
so
it
bad.
one
I don't
time in
get
college.
It.
I was like, I'm never coming back to this.
I told you the one time I did it in LA, and I was like, I could not believe how much not from like the muscle use, but sitting on the seat, how much I don't got a lot of cushion down there, and how much the seat hurt. And I said to the girl next to me afterwards, we had like exchanged a few like friendly words in the beginning, and I was like, man, they need to like cushion these seats better. And she was like, you could like get the padded pants out there, like as if it was a problem that only I was dealing with. And I was like, I thought we were in this
She's
together.
like, oh, I mean, if you have a bony butt, you can get the padded ones out there.
She was like, if
I
your
will-
ass can't cover that.
As somebody who has a little bit a fair cushion down there, it is still awful and uncomfortable
It's not fun.
and bad.
That's what I'm saying. Where like,
Why
I think
not?
everybody's gaslighting me.
Why
it
not?
hurts.
Okay, how about this? Let's make the seats wider, just slightly. I'd say like 3 inches on that. Huge difference.
I don't understand why it has to be so small. What difference does it make?
Maybe because they don't want you sitting on it a whole lot.
And is it because like you're more full range of motion with your legs? I don't know. Is there
Gosh.
reasons for it? I'm sure there is, but I hate it. So
We didn't
were
want
like,
to do a cycling
we didn't
class.
want to. Needless to say, we didn't want to do a cycling
If you're into
class.
cycling, sorry.
Sorry,
That's good for
That's
you.
honestly awesome. I
Yeah,
wish I could.
You're stronger than I am.
Because I honestly love the energy sometimes. But Mills and I were like, let's try something weird. So
Let's look for something a little
something more
kookier.
unique. And so we've been trying to do the Aerial Silks one, but like none of them were happening in the time frame that we needed. We wanted to do a dance class, but all of them were just kind of ones that we
And we
didn't-
only had a
weren't-
couple of days left.
And a
too.
lot of them you have to do like level 1 classes, and if the timing doesn't work out, your options are limited. So we find this yoga studio, which we kind of been like, maybe we'll just do yoga because that would be nice regardless. Like even if we can't do something, yoga would be nice. But then we realized they had a class that was like deep meditation.
Yeah, it was a like deep like intermediate guided meditation,
Guided,
or
deep,
there was
like,
some other
internal-
word
What's the
for
like
it.
like astral?
It wasn't astral projection.
but
No.
it's like along those lines, like a less astral projection-y, but
More, you get
more
it.
just like
It
in
was a
between
meditation
yoga, in
class.
between yoga and astral
Yeah.
projection,
In between those two, for sure.
energy-wise.
There's a spectrum of yoga and astral projection. Everything falls on it, actually. believe it or not.
everything.
This was probably right down the middle. Of it.
Right in the split in the center. But so we go, and right away we meet our instructor,
Guys,
Garth.
first of all,
His
incredible
name was Garth.
incredible name.
All we had seen that on the listing. We were like, absolutely, we're
Yeah.
gonna learn how to
Yeah.
get on the same wavelength by a man named Garth.
This man too. First of all, if you were to think in your mind, imagine a yoga or meditation instructor in Hollywood, it's Garth. But imagine a mixture of Tom Cruise and Adam Scott.
Yeah, I would say he was a little more like macho than I was expecting for how kind of like hippie the studio was. Like
Yeah.
the studio was very like had a lot of books on like the practice of yoga
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
You know
And-
what Garth looked like? Garth looked like he knows the pressure points that
Yeah.
could kill you
put
or
you to sleep.
immobilize you. Yeah.
He could
and
because
he would do it in the like
he was pretty like he wasn't big in stature,
No.
but he was like pretty stocky for what
Toned,
he had.
very
toned,
toned.
and then like had pretty broad shoulders with a one of those like white tank tops that are they curve in pretty far.
Yeah. Brown eyes, but blue eye energy in terms of the gaze.
He's pushing them.
Yeah, he's pushing them towards you.
He wants you to see him.
Yeah. He came out, introduced himself. He was really nice. Then we go in, and it was one of those things where, first of all, we had to keep moving around because there were so many heaters, and the heaters were a little too powerful.
It was hot.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was supposed to be a hot class. I will say, I appreciated that it was warm, knowing that we weren't going to be moving. Guys, we signed up for a workout class where you don't move.
We
It's a workout of the mind.
It was truly just us, like, sitting and doing...
We sat like crisscross all the times,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of.
So, okay, here's what we mean by the party don't stop in this specific scenario. There are going to be moments where you have to make a choice to commit to something and to just be like, hey, I'm already here. Either I'm going to get something out of this or I'm not. And that is truly up to me. Oh, yeah, you're right. Here, wait, sit up in our...
I know I'm so annoyed with myself right now because I'm probably having to adjust the camera angle.
So we sit crisscross, except he's like telling us the different seating positions. He says, you know, some of you have been here before, some of you are new here. Mind you, there's 4 people in front of him.
There's yeah,
Us
pretty
included.
big room.
So-
and we were like, oh, it's gonna be a lot of people. No, 4.
No,
It
4
was
people,
us,
including us.
one other guy, and one woman that was like maybe a little older than us.
Yeah.
And he was like, the guy that was there, he was like, you've done this class a ton, and the guy was like, yes.
He had been there all night. He was like, oh, I was just at 2 other classes here, and then I'm going to go to this other one later tonight. And we were like, good
This
for
was his
you.
evening,
Okay, cool.
which
yeah.
is amazing.
That's
And
amazing.
then
You must feel
The
great.
woman next to us, though, Garth was like, you've been here before, but you haven't done this class. And she was like, no. So 3 out of 4 of the people here have never done any of the things that he's about to do for us.
So you'd think he'd give like an
Maybe-
introduction that would explain to you. And he did. He said some like breath work stuff.
Yeah.
But then he just jumped in, and it was really kind of a, I don't want to mess up the meditation for the person who's been here before, so we're just going to move forward, and you
Yes,
guys are
as
going to
if
follow
being-
along.
As if assuming the majority of the class knew what was happening. The majority of class was confused.
We were ready, though. We were like,
we were prepared.
We were
and again,
sitting-
because you forgot. Carly Rae Jepsen's performing live. The party is not stopping. So we are in it.
And it starts off with a bang, because I think that there are so many things with parties in particular where it's like that moment right before you go out onto a dance floor when you really have to be like,
Yes.
and now I am crossing this mental threshold into, I'm dancing. It's time to dance.
It's time to dance and just be here.
yeah. And it's not always literal dancing, guys. Metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. We've said it once. We'll say it again. It's a metaphor.
So when Garth began the class by
Mm-hmm.
saying, all right, everybody, close your eyes. And no intro, no nothing. He just goes,
Oh.
like does one of the ohms, right? Guys, literally no. He didn't even say we're going to start with like nothing. Just begins with that.
And again,
so
not a lot of people in this class, and we're not sitting super close to them. We're sitting behind them. And he's and loud. So we can't really hear. You can eventually, when people start to join, you're like, okay,
Oh, we're
I
supposed
guess
to
people
join
are
this.
joining.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not like
'Cause
a
at first I was
symphony
like-
of people joining. It's like maybe we can hear the guy over here saying
Yeah.
it, maybe not, and maybe we're just being crazy and saying it.
And the way he was doing it, I was like, maybe this is how he gets into teaching.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I don't
I'm
know his
supposed to be
thing.
following this.
I don't know what his deal is.
Instantly in that moment, though, I was like, my eyes
We're
have
here.
to stay closed either because I have to meditate right now because if I do not, I am going to look at my pal and I'm going to start giggling and that's not okay. That's not respectful to Garth.
Millicent and I in these spaces often have to make a choice of being like, hey,
We
Focus
cannot
up.
look at each other.
focus up. And we'll break it every once in a while. We'll talk about that.
One
but,
time
like,
in yoga, Maddie, we had our arms out to the side and I just felt her touching my fingertips and I was like, what the heck? Because my eyes had been closed.
sometimes it's good to remember you're alive. And even though that teacher's telling you to do that, you can also stick your pad a little. But so Garth is umming loud. We have eventually come to the conclusion that we too should and we are all
And
umming.
we started
then it gets
umming,
to
baby.
the part that felt good. We were all
I loved that.
closing it out. So over the next hour,
It was an hour-long class of I think it was intensive meditation.
mm-hmm.
I think it
I'll
was.
find the name.
Yeah.
Over the series of an hour, he proceeds to give, I would say maybe 10 we go through different breathing exercises, different kind of like mental things. He proceeds to give some of the fastest, most complicated left, right, this finger, that finger.
He's
push
like
it
down
going
to your
up, down,
seventh
coming
chakra,
up,
then you're going to push it out of the crown of your head, then you're going to pull it down into your sixth chakra.
When you go
out-
down the left leg, then you're going to
out
come
of
back
your
up it,
right
out of your
eye,
right-
then you're going to use your left nostril. I'm not joking, guys.
Guys,
He was saying it's so
The
fast.
one thing, I'm going to put the microphone down and show you the one thing that we were supposed to
Oh.
do. It was so
Oh, I loved it.
hard. It involved every part of your hand. And I
was
think
called
if I
closing the
practiced
doors.
more, but I wanted to keep the door closed longer than he was letting me. And he
Mhm.
was making us do it pretty fast. So we would like breathe in. I'm going to do it. Let go. Guys, his head. It was faster than that. That's how long it took me to get set. I would say by the time I got it every time, he was like, release.
He
And
was
I
a
like, I'm
fast
still getting
counter.
there.
He would be like,
I
we're
don't
going
know
to
what
hold that for 12 seconds. In my head, I'm counting my 12 seconds.
I
Tell
hope
me
our
why
audio
Garth
listeners-
is starting to exhale, and I'm thinking,
He's-
hi, I
'cause
haven't gotten my 12 seconds.
He's counting fast. It's a fast
Yeah.
12. 1, 2, 3, 4.
One time, though, and this is very... Oh, it's our heater. I was like, what is that sound? It's the heater.
I think it's been going the whole time.
One time we were at a party. Our friend Prutho was throwing a Diwali party. And
so fun.
she told us to we were eating a food thing and we were waiting for a second for something to cool down. She had poured sauce into it. And then she was like, just wait like 5 seconds, then pop the whole thing in your mouth. So I started counting and I was like, 1 Mississippi, 2. And she goes, not your American counting, like just faster. And I was like, whoa. Why did we choose Mississippi? Because that is a long one.
Everywhere else, it's like Utah. So it's super short.
Yeah. One
One
Utah,
Utah,
2
2
Utah, 3. Party ain't stopping, guys.
Party don't stop.
Party ain't stopping.
But so we're in this class. Garth is for our audio listeners, I hope they think we stood on our heads during that time. It was like we did something crazy. No, what we did was we basically like balanced on our 2 elbows and then we spun around 8 times.
Oh, I see. Oh, and then
And then we did a backflip.
it was really
And
cool.
we said, Garth, slow down.
Maddie's still in a handstand, guys.
Yeah, I haven't been able to stop.
No, and actually, we were using all of our fingers to close
You
all
put
the
your
orifices
you put
on
your
our face.
thumbs on your ears, your pointer fingers on your. Okay, so imagine this at ×5 speed. He's explaining this. Your thumb on your ears, your pointer finger on your eyelids, your middle
fingers.
finger on like closing your kind of nose, your ring finger kind of on top of your lip, and your pinky finger kind of below your mouth.
And that's supposed to be closing it. But every time that you were supposed to do that for like when you inhaled, hold it there, and then when you exhaled, let it out of like your left nostril.
oh yeah, that's something more complicated,
And
guys.
the
We're not
way-
done yet.
And the way that truly every time, because he would put his
His
hands up, and
fingers also-
he's done that a lot. His fingers are instantly going to where
Well,
they need to. I am having to do finger
I'm
by
having to
finger, be like,
set
okay,
every time
pinky
here,
underneath,
here,
this
here,
one,
here.
this one,
You saw
this
how
one,
long it took us
ear.
to do it. And then he goes, and then you're just going to take your pinky and your your pinky and your ring finger and your thumb. So you're bending your other 2 fingers. Very uncomfortable position. Not one that you do a lot. His fingers were kind of bent, and then he was going, you're gonna pinch your nose with it, you guys. It was crazy.
There
And
was
then
one
he goes,
point.
you're gonna hold your thumb down and release. Sorry, that was probably
Yeah.
really gross.
No, it's
out
okay.
the
it's okay.
side.
I
Crazy.
I'm always gonna like the breathing exercises just because it feels amazing.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Get into it.
Yeah.
There was a party and Garth is DJing. He's blowing it out your left nostril. Get with it.
But in terms of you get what you put in, meditation is a very literal version of that. Of it can either be that class could have either been an hour of sitting there thinking about how awkward and weird this class is.
Then why do it?
Yeah. In reality, time flew.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. By the time, at one point, guys, he did have us doing, there were these chants.
This is also right after the he goes, okay, I'm going to do the blah 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 chant again. He's kind of like explaining, like using like lingo and terms that he obviously knows we don't know. He's already explained that for $12 we could purchase a laminated sheet outside that would explain all this terminology to us,
that would tell us what we were saying.
Yeah, so sorry if we said something we shouldn't, because he's like, I'm gonna say this phrase, and then I'm gonna say it 3 times, and then I'm gonna break it down, and you guys are gonna repeat after me. You're like, okay.
We were like, okay, probably like 3 words max. Like
the phrase he proceeded to say is a minute long. I'm not joking. A minute of a language I've never heard in my life.
Okay, it just kept going. It actually kept going every time that he.
So if we
and then he'd elongate it, and then you'd think it's dying out. It's dying out.
No, and then it would come back. Yeah, there was. So, like, if somebody's, like, grandma is ailing now because we put a hex on her, sorry.
Sorry about it. That was Garth.
That was Garth. We just followed Garth right into that one. Yeah. Maxed out his powers. It was crazy.
It was really, and it was, again, there were so many moments where, like, because there were moments where he would have us open our eyes and he would explain what we were going to do next. Mm-hmm. And if you opened your eyes, guys, you had a 30% chance that Garth was gazing.
Hey, you guys are Garth? You guys are Garth? I'm here where my face is. My seat is because I thought more people were going to be in the class.
And I'm probably right here, actually.
But I'm also at the back point of the room.
Yeah.
So he's at the front. So it's a long distance of nobody and then Garth.
Also, I kept trying to understand how he was sitting. Because it was crisscross applesauce, but it wasn't.
Because he was on his blocks.
Yeah, but I was on a block too, and I was really trying to figure it out.
I think I switched from the pillow. You were on the pillow thing. I switched from the pillow to the block because I was having a hard time. The pillow. Me. Well, the pillow, I was more comfortable, but it went out more, and it made me like slant forward, and it was like harder for me to put my legs straight down. Anyway, that was a class with Garth. Guys, party don't stop.
We felt amazing. We felt incredible getting out of there.
And then we were going to do something fun later that night. I don't remember.
Were we going to see a movie
or something? It was a wonderful evening.
I think we went to go see Companion.
A perfect night.
Party did not. And then we got home, and the movie had been pretty early. So we got home. Getting home at like 9:30 from something. Incredible feeling.
Oh,
you're like, oh my gosh.
I'm alive.
Guess the party's not stopping.
Party not stopping.
Oh.
Got a little time to read. Got a little time to hang out.
Sorry. I think you thought the party was stopping.
You? I don't want to have to keep saying it.
Kind of embarrassing for you. You stopped having fun. Kind of seems like you gave up on it.
That was kind of a you choice, I guess.
Guys, does bullying you into being positive work? Does that work? Is that good for you?
Is that good? Because our motto's kind of been like, ask not what the party can do for you. Ask what you can do for the party.
You know how they say that you like wrap a pill in cheese and give it to a dog?
Yeah.
We're actually just wrapping a party in cheese.
Yeah.
And putting
a party pill.
And
party. You were drugging us. Yeah, but we wrapped it in cheese. You can buy our party pills on HeyTherePals.com.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
You actually can buy pill like bottles off of Printify.
I was confused by
that.
So
maybe we'll have like love pills, like for like little notes.
Oh my gosh, wait. Could you like make your I mean,
we'll get to it.
We're gonna play that.
But we didn't, guys. The party didn't stop because I had 2 days left of my class pass, so we needed to keep this party going, which means we gotta find one more class.
And while we were looking, again, we were really confined to our choices.
Yeah.
We have a sweat stretch yoga place down the street from us that we pass by. Guys, the condensation is always on the windows. It's actually insane.
It's
they like have squeegees that they have to do the windows with. We saw a guy at the sourdough place down the street from us come in from that. I'm not joking. Never seen a wetter man in my life. He was wearing normal clothing. He'd clearly gotten out of the class, but I guess not had time to shower, but had time to stop at the sourdough shop.
I'm praying that is where he came from. Because, again, him being in normal clothes was so weird. God, he truly was sopping wet. I've never seen him more wet. Not just like it like
he was blinking to get it out to stop it from dripping into his eyes.
It wasn't just perspiration that was like about to break. It was breaking. It was all falling. It was falling down.
Actively dripping down his face in the we
On
are
his
standing
body.
in the we're standing
He's
in the front
red too, beet red. Like he just sprinted a mile to get the sourdough.
we're standing in the front of the sourdough place getting samples for like the third time. And
Well,
we're
Randall
talking to the
kept offering.
Yeah.
Randall's the man who added the sourdough place.
Yeah, he
owns it, he
loves his
runs it.
sourdough. Rocks.
He's looking for that bread mobile.
yeah.
We keep
We're on
in
his
touch.
email
We're on his
list.
email list.
Anywho, that we saw that guy walk in. We've discussed trying to do a class there, and we were hoping ClassPass had a deal.
Yeah,
They
I don't
didn't.
think they're on it.
I don't think studios love ClassPass.
No,
I
and
think
I
that's
get
the
that.
vibe I'm getting, and
Because they
that's
gotta like re-register everybody, and then no one's actually paying for
And
the
I'm
class.
getting-
I get it.
emails out the wazoo.
So many.
these
It's
days.
honestly a problem. But we sign up for this. We decide because there kind of wasn't
I've-
anything else experimental.
You had never done
I'd
a
never done a
sweat yoga
hot-
class. I had done a hot yoga class before, and I was like, I will never go back to a hot yoga,
Yeah.
like a straight up hot yoga class again. Guys, I was literally, the teacher came over and was like, do you want a bigger towel to me in that class?
Roasted.
Well, because I literally like was in downward dog and slipped out of it.
Because yeah, we're on a rubber mat getting wet. It's a crazy
One
thing
thing about
to do.
me, I'm gonna sweat.
But so we didn't want to do a hot yoga class,
Right.
But we'll do a hot stretch class.
An intensive stretch.
and deep infrared stretch, hot yoga.
Yeah.
So we sign up
it
for
was-
this place in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're never in Hollywood during
No.
the day.
No.
Because you don't.
It's
You don't
really
do that.
weird being in Hollywood before 11 a.m.
Because a lot of places are just like venues, like music venues,
Yeah.
restaurants, and like dinner places. They're not open during the day.
It's a weird feeling.
It's strange.
But we go in, and it's, again,
Lovely in there.
it's beautiful.
Like an oasis, honestly.
It was amazing. They had
Smelled
like
amazing,
wood
felt
paneling on
amazing.
all the walls. They had beautiful.
I feel like I was kind of in a stone cave.
Yeah.
It was, we get all of our stuff. We proceed to go into this. Mills and I are by far the first people there.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, I'd forgotten a yoga mat, so I had to rent one, but it was a nice
it was
mat.
nice.
Oh my goodness. If I'm going to have to pay $8 to rent a yoga mat,
Better be a nice one.
that's going to be the one I'm going to want.
It's one of the ones that was like not, it didn't have to be thick to be nice.
Yeah.
Like it was quality.
So we get into the studio. We open the doors to the sweat yoga studio.
I honestly thought it was a hallway.
Yeah.
It's narrow. I thought it was the hallway to the studio.
We open the door, and it's
hot.
so, believe it or not, hot yoga's hot.
It's hot.
And
it's been
as-
getting hot.
As they're talking, though, at the beginning, when she's like, okay, get some blocks, get some different stuff, and I was like, why are we getting so many tools? I thought this was just a stretch class.
Yeah, she had a strap. I said, what is this? I said, Melissa, what is this? What is this?
I was like, I
Strap
think it's
for?
to help with the stretches, but I don't know. And she
It
was
was.
talking, the way she was talking made me feel, I was starting to like, I was like, Maddie, is this an actual like sweat yoga class? Is this a sweat yoga class? Like I was starting to get really nervous because again, we're already standing, it's infrared already.
Guys, let's describe the room. It's fairly narrow, so you can maybe fit 3 wide, but like pretty, you're close
your
to
mats
each
are
other.
going long ways.
Melissa and I's mats are flush up against the mirror. The one whole
Yeah.
side is a mirror. The other side looks like a giant, like Godzilla has punched a hole in the wall. It's dented in, and it's like rocks that glow.
It's like pebbles, yeah. And they
It's
said that was
amazing.
infrared, and I'm like,
It turned
swear?
red.
yeah.
Which I was like, it's
Also,
fun.
Vibe was great.
Incredible vibe.
The instructor comes in, but anyways, Maddie and I we put our mat down. Other people are starting to come in. We're standing in the heat.
We're
I'm
getting
looking at
stressed.
Maddie. I'm going, what if this is actually a yoga class? And then we kind of had a moment of, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing we can do about it.
And we had already told ourselves we were planning on having a pals meeting later that day to kind of like go over, like sometimes we just gotta go over all the business stuff and be like, okay, what are we pushing forward here? What's our goals? And we hadn't had one in a while. And we were like, we gotta have, like, it's gonna be all afternoon. And we said, why don't we make it a little? Why don't we do a little thing?
Because
where
the
we
meeting's
get
already going to be a
smoothie?
party. I genuinely
Meeting,
look forward
I'm
to every
excited
time we
to
get
the
to
meeting.
have.
Why not in the in-between? We're gonna need to get a little something.
Yeah.
Why not get a smoothie? After we get all hot and sweaty and stretched out and we feel loose and relaxed.
We already
Oh.
knew we were going to be getting a smoothie afterwards, which meant that we wanted to give ourselves that motivation to get through whatever this was going to be. 1, we're going to make it.
We're gonna be okay.
2, we're together.
And also, we have learned at this point, a faux pas makes a good story.
Yeah.
So if something happens, which, to our delight, it was not. It was an amazing.
was a stretching class.
It was just a stretching class. She was talking fast because she had a lot to get through, but she was so good at explaining what we should be doing. And if she noticed we were all struggling, she would like get into the position.
I
or she would
always
help people.
I am always in awe of yoga instructors. Yoga, just doing it, but also just the instructors that are able to be like, and if you flex your foot 45 degrees to the right, and then like focus
Move
your
point
energy in your
pinky
big toe.
You're like, whoa.
Oh my, and then they'll be like, you might feel that on the outside. And you're like,
Like,
I do. Whoa,
Uh-huh.
that's
I'm
crazy.
feeling that. I was
How do you
feeling
know
the
my
inside,
body like
and then you
that?
said to pull it through my pinky toe, and I'm feeling my outside.
That was crazy.
That was amazing.
And she started playing too. Another cool thing was I had literally just maybe even that morning or like the
On
day
the way
prior.
there, I think we were driving and listening to it too.
We have this artist that we love named Griff.
another pal's pick.
You might, Pal's Pick. Go listen to Griff. Her big song right now is Last Night's Mascara.
Yeah.
But I
There's
think
a lot of bops that I think you might just know.
one of my favorite, a good Pal song is, we'll put it on the Pal list, is Walk. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Anyways, we love Griff, and we've been listening to her for a little while now. I'd gone to her concert, and I had been listening to her radio station on Spotify, and one of her old songs that I'd found back in college had like come on. And I showed it to Maddie. I was like, oh, I just found this like old Griff song, and she sounds so young in it. Here it is. And I played it. We're in that class, and the instructor, that song comes on while
There's
we're like
so many
starting.
other Griff songs to pick.
And it was a really cool, like, oh wow, like that's such a.
So full circle, and just
Yeah.
kind of being like, wow, a moment of.
The song was Paradise by Griff.
And just go listen to her stuff in general.
Yeah,
It's all
she's
good.
so talented. Oh
But
my gosh.
so much of that building up to it, we kept being like, oh, we're going to get sweaty and then we're going to blah, blah. And we really we planned for it well. We're like, we'll go home, we'll get showers. Like, we had peace of mind of sweat can be washed away. It's all fine. It can all be reset. And we're getting a little treat afterwards.
And
now we have a moment of human connection because this cool yoga teacher played a song that we were just listening
and then
to.
she was like, I'm 40. Is it weird that I'm listening to this? And I said, you're 40.
she looked our age.
I'm coming here every
I'm
day
stretching.
now.
Well, another delightful part is not just the experience of the other people that were in there, because it was a pretty small class, but it was fun. People were kind of chit-chatting at the end. But Millicent and I, if you go with the pal, this is the best part, you guys, when you're with the pal, because the party don't stop. Because there was a moment pretty early on in the class, where she was doing a stretch where she was like, okay, she was having us push our thighs towards our stomachs. We were laying on our
and
back.
we had our strap on
and
our
she,
foot.
Yeah, and she was trying to show us how we could pull our legs back. But she was like, and if you feel comfortable, you can go straighten your leg, which obviously none of us in that class were at that level. We all were doing basic stretching, but she was just showing this is where you get to. She pulls her foot, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
wow,
People
okay.
do that.
And then
She
it's straight
keeps
up.
pulling it.
Keep
She keeps
going.
pulling it. She touches her toe to the floor behind her. Now Millicent and I,
Her other leg is straight. Maddie and I are.
she's where you guys are. And
My
her
leg's
foot,
probably
her toe is pointing right at me.
Yeah.
I'm laying right here. Millicent's toes are pointing at me.
My
Millicent's
leg's
right above
shaking like
me.
a chihuahua
Yeah.
at a 90-degree angle, basically.
I'm barely getting it up here. Her foot is on the floor doing a tap dance.
we both, though.
No, I have to look backwards, turn my head backwards,
And I'm
to
up-
see
and I'm up in
Millicent.
here, and I'm like-
Millicent's foot is all the way up, so she has to pop her head up and be
I
like,
literally
"Oh
went,
my god!" At the same time, we both looked up at each other to be like, "Holy!"
That's where mirrors do. Like in dance classes, it's fun
Yeah.
when we have the mirrors, and then I can but then it's not actually good because then we just start laughing.
Yeah.
But the stretching is the same thing as the meditation. I think every workout is you get what you give.
Yeah.
I remember P90X. My brothers and my dad used to do it.
the
and-
chokehold P90X had on the middle class.
What was his name?
I don't
he
know.
had a. Oh,
At
my
my-
brothers used to,
at my- he
I think
held-
it was Tony something.
So many
Always a
mornings after Christmas hostage. My whole family, they did. My uncle got it for Christmas, and we went to my dad's side of the family for Christmas. They all did it in the morning.
He
And I
had
was like,
some slogan
uh-uh.
that was like, "It doesn't work unless you do."
Yeah.
And I something about that language really clicked with those men at that time.
Yeah. Hey, if you had fun, but then weren't they kind of it's a little much? You shouldn't do it all the time because it gets a little too intense
Yeah.
for all your joints. Be careful, guys.
Guys,
The party
careful
don't
out
stop,
there.
but also let's be reasonable.
But
And we-
stretching, I think too. Oh yeah, we have to
you can do you have any
we have
final
to wrap it
stretching
up.
thoughts?
I was just gonna say stretching too. We both. I would say that I go into a hip flexor stretch multiple times a day because my hips are just always sore, and it was really cool to leave that class and be to realize the party favor from that class was truly my hips felt so good.
Yeah.
They always are popping, and this time they didn't. It was-
That's the thing about the party not stopping, you guys. Even when you leave the party, be it a literal party
And
or
we
a
were
POL, you can remember that party.
Mhm.
That's all you got is the memory, and it feels like you're there again.
Because if
You're
I'm
having a
only
great time
focusing
again.
on the favor of the sweat, then I'm missing out on the fact that wow, my hips feel really good. Wow, I feel really
We got
refreshed.
We got to try a new smoothie place.
Yeah. Oh.
It was,
And we've
guys,
got thoughts on we've got thoughts on some smoothie places that we actually should share when we get back.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish. We have one last party to talk about. That was a literal party.
we're getting to a literal party
And then
after this. That was me floating away with Party City.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa. Looks like, hang on. We might need to pause the party
Hold
momentarily. Momentarily pausing the party. Kermit here got...
Party's not stopping. It's just paused.
He's just paused. It's still running in the background. He got
Kermit
a little...
here got a little
carried
nuts.
away with the party. And that happens.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Kermit's going to spend a night in the Slammer.
Yeah.
Only one night.
Can we tell you what happened? Real quick. He's actually been a little weekend at Bernie this whole episode. He has essentially been unconscious. He was on a bender last night.
But he has given us permission to use his body
Yes.
for here because he's just sleeping behind
And
his
also,
glasses.
let's be clear. He only does this like once a year.
He goes all
He
out.
really and when one of his buddies is having a bachelor party, he's gonna be
He's there for his boys. He was back in the swamp.
Yeah, so he's
But he
been
had work
passed
in the
out.
morning. But so party don't stop. He's going to the clink.
Yeah, during the break, we did get a call from the local police, basically being like, "Hey, he was
Hey.
belligerent last night. We have some footage
So we're
that
just gonna
could be
take
really
him real
damning,
quick. He
frankly."
did, yeah. And so we nothing too bad. Only one night. It's fine.
Yeah, he's
but
fine.
now party don't stop. He gets to go make some pals in prison.
Prison
so
pals.
He's just going to jail. Prison
Yeah.
pals.
He's just going. There are two different things.
So look forward
learned that
to
in Orange is the New
Kermit's
Black.
mugshots.
We also these were again at Party City. I think this was in the 75% off section.
We were like, well, we'll
This
probably
little
need
toy.
to arrest Kermit at some point. So
Yeah,
today's the day.
This toy revolver,
Um,
handcuffs, and a little whistle. Whistle doesn't even have the little ball in it though. Kind of makes you wonder.
and I guess we should address
Oh, yeah, the hat.
the hat situation. We are also wearing velvet red fedoras.
The way these called to us with a siren song.
There was another woman walking around the store with two younger children, and she was carrying one of these, and I was like, okay, game see
Oh,
game,
at one
party
point,
see party.
At one point, we did see two siblings, and they both had on one of them had on a silly the classic gag glasses, and then
Yeah.
another one was
Like
wearing
the oversized ones.
a big
That's
head
silly.
a big headband or something, and it was just so beautiful.
One of them
to
had a wig
see.
on, a curly wig on. The little girl had
And
like
guys,
a curly old
that's-
grandma wig.
That's what they took from us. That's what they're
But
actively
it's-
taking from us.
It's in us.
It's in us now, and they can't take it once it's inside you. They can't
They
take
can't.
the party once it's in your heart.
But we can still mourn its body.
But yeah, we can still mourn the
products.
carcass. The
Yeah,
carcass
the
that is.
carcass.
And I really do want a grocery cart, and I'm going to
Okay.
call them. I don't know why. I just feel like we could do something really fun with the grocery cart.
Sure. Yeah, honestly, might be helpful.
Yeah.
Wheel stuff around. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a
Really
fun
rattled the
challenge too. We
cords.
have a grocery cart. What do we do with it?
What? Yeah. What?
kind of
What
a-
do they do with the grocery cart? That's our segment.
Yeah,
where
guys, we
every
wrote
week
that
we-
song.
We roll the
okay.
cart out on set, and we just go, "What do we do with
What
it?"
do we do
And maybe
with this
one
thing?
day we'll know. But the party.
Where's your guy's hat? Oh, is it down there? That's going to be impossible for you to get. And that's not me doubting you. That's just me saying, don't worry about it, brother. One of the hot dogs lost his party hat.
And sometimes losing a hat is for the better, like when we lost it going to Jayla's party.
What hat?
When I forgot to bring my hat,
Oh, and then I was like, well, I can't be the only hat wearer.
and it turns out we shouldn't have been wearing hats at all. No one was wearing hats.
Thank
so.
God we left our hats
Thank
in the
goodness
car.
we didn't show up hatted. So maybe he's not supposed to have a hat for a reason right now.
Yeah, so anyways, that's the bit that we decided to do with the Party City toy.
Did
Toy
you like
respite.
that one?
Did you guys like that?
Because here's the thing.
I think that was $2.
The party don't stop till I walk in. We have another party. A
Yeah.
literal party this time, not a POL, not a party of life.
Wait, real quick before we move on from the hats, because I know you guys are still dying to talk about them.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners, they are fedoras. They are bright red fedoras. They called to us down the aisle, and it was one of those things where we did have a moment where I believe Maddie said we could wear these when we go to Smokehouse. If you're unaware, Smokehouse is the steakhouse that we have decided to treat ourselves to once we hit 20K on TikTok.
Now the problem is we were going towards that at a rate when we made this declaration that we were like, we're going to be going to Smokehouse next week.
Yeah, but get ready. We got to figure out our outfits for
We're-
Smokehouse.
like by next
Yeah.
Saturday.
Then everything stopped.
And then everything changed when the Fire
Yeah.
Nation attacked.
Yeah. We are at 19.8 now.
We're chugging. We made some progress.
You know, we took some steps. We took some steps right back.
We took a couple.
There have
but-
been some times where I've gone, oh my goodness, we're at 19.8. And then later in the day, I have to go to Maddie and be like, we're back to 19.7.
That's okay.
That's
It's because
okay.
It's
We're
gonna make
fine with it.
Smokehouse blow our minds even
Yeah.
that much more. That's why
And
we went
guys-
ahead and we gave ourselves a little treat of getting a hat.
Smokehouse, yeah, baby, we're hitting ourselves with the good hats.
Because we're gonna be wearing a velvet fedora.
And we also did drive by the cigar lounge that we do plan to hang out in afterwards.
Yep.
People are like, 20,000 is not that many. Okay.
we just want to celebrate.
It's clearly
We
it
work
is
towards
a milestone that is hard to pass for us.
For us. So that's our hurdle.
Sorry, my nose is so freezing in this garage, guys.
It's cold and also it's been raining, which usually makes the grasses like the pollen. It's crazy. If you've ever gone to pollen.com, that's another Val's plug. It's super helpful if you have allergies. You can find out how bad the pollen radar is that day. And pollen index.
Ooh,
I didn't mean to say it like that, but you know,
yeah, it feels
can't
like
help
a bad
it.
thing.
Got a pal on the tongue.
We went to one more party. So we've talked about 2 things that were not technically parties. They were actually just workout classes.
And just life.
That didn't really end up being workout classes.
Yeah.
But we mean this in the essence of life in general. And these are the stories we have to pull from. That said, we did
gotta make something of it.
Guys, every time that we sit down and we go, what are we going to talk about this week? We think about what happened.
do?
And then we go, what's the vibe?
How
And then
do
we go,
cram a theme into a metaphor into that, a stream.
and then we're going to realize, wait, didn't we already talk about this on Whimsy and Wonder?
Yeah, can't say
and
we can
all
kinda
of that?
remix
Yeah,
it a
guys,
little.
we did.
It's kind of doing different shadings of these things. Like
different metaphors, if you will.
Yeah, different kind of, because honestly, sometimes there are metaphors that'll hear for the same thing, but then there's one metaphor that really speaks to you. So we're giving you different ones. Maybe the visual is what really helps you along.
Growing up in church, I heard a lot of metaphors.
A lot of parables.
Lots of metaphors. Oh, Jesus was big on that.
Huge one
on
thing about my
that.
J-Man, he's big on the parables.
Oh, he loves him an illustrative story.
Uh-huh. Guess what? It was a metaphor. He
It was
said
a
it. We
metaphor.
actually can't say we said it first. Jesus said it first.
And it's just so, like, I'm curious. I feel like there are definitely sermon databases online where you can just see, like, all the different metaphors that have been made. That's crazy. Can you imagine all the metaphors that have been made?
You just mean ever?
Just in sermons. Like,
Yeah.
like pastors can, like, log them, I think. Or it's, like, a database. Yeah.
Pastors can log their metaphors?
Listen, I could be they're not
Pastor.com.
logging specifically their metaphors,
It's
but
like-
they can log their sermons in the theme. So it's like you can see other sermons on this passage that
I
you're
love
also
the
doing
idea
a
of them
sermon
being
on.
like, what do I talk about this week? Well, my son spilled spaghetti on me. Son spilled spaghetti. Oh, the story Luke 13
Then you're like, oh
4
my gosh, Robbie Jenkins in South Dakota.
gave a sermon on this, and he looped it back to the story
Wow.
of the fish and
I
loaves.
hope they're becoming friends that way. That'd be amazing.
Pastor.com,
Like, my son
if
also
not.
spilled spaghetti. This is crazy.
This is crazy.
Robbie Jenkins is like, that was in 2003.
Still
So
applies.
long. Yeah, still applies. I don't know, and I could be completely wrong about that.
I don't. That would be.
I'll ask
amazing.
my brother.
I've never.
I'll ask.
heard
I'll
of
ask
that.
around.
If not, we're doing it.
Yeah.
A
We're
thought-
making the
we're making a
the
metaphor-
pastors are like, why did you make this website? And we're
I
like,
just
it's
wanna
more
make
like a general metaphor.
Any metaphor database, just a database of metaphors.
I think it would be useful and also very, as somebody who enjoys poetry
Yeah.
and enjoys writing it, though, I think that it would really upset some poets. Not upset poets in terms of like being offended, but like having to be like, oh gosh, 6 million people have compared this water stream to this or whatever. But I also think that's beautiful, especially if you don't already know about it, because there's something. Maybe you shouldn't look at it before writing something, because then you could be influenced, and then it's more so. I
Jury's
wanna
out on if you should look at
authentically-
the metaphor database.
But how beautiful to realize, like, oh, I already made this metaphor. Look, all these other people have too. We all like had this human experience of seeing this.
But on the other hand,
But then also, it's that Elton John song. But then
Benny and the
again, no, isn't that one the?
I think about how I think Chris Fleming again has a bit about Elton John trying to end Benny and the Jets, because it like fades out 4 times and then keeps going. So anyway, we went to a literal party, and
this party took 15 minutes for me to explain to my mother, because it was in.
you all have heard of a crab boil, right? A crab boil is like where people boil crab and then people eat it. People go, they show. Usually it's in the summertime, but hey, we have a friend who loves imitation crab meat.
I don't even know if he loves it. We don't
He
know
said
much.
he does.
Oh, okay.
I think this comes from
crazy if he
real
didn't
love.
Okay. We're not even going to go necessarily. We're not going to explain it any further than it was an imitation crab broil. And this was the second one, and the second annual one, and we'd been to the first one as well.
We went to the first one, and there was a couple parts about this where Millicent and I are coming to you all to talk about a time where we had to remind ourselves of our own
Practice what we
teachings,
preach.
yes, our own lessons, because this was a bit of a space that I don't really know anybody outside of this group. Like, I met a lot of people at last year's party where we knew nobody, so we were excited to go see those people again. So that really helped overcome the fear. But we also this is an
Very
intimidating-
much so the strangers in the room.
Yeah, this is also like a room of comedians, and so it's like people who are like also like doing comedian, like they are doing it. A lot of them.
Yeah. So we can be honest. It's like
it's intimidating for us. And so
it's intimidating to walk into any room, but it's intimidating to walk into a room with people that you're like, oh my gosh, like I like genuinely, I'm like, I respect you guys and like think you guys are great.
Like I know already about you because you're on the internet.
And this is weird.
And now I'm kind of here and you don't know
really
about me.
What's there
but
to know, really?
Everyone there last year was so kind. So we just were more excited to be like, we know we're going to meet more people like that. And we did. But last year was like maybe 15 people. Maybe 20 coming in and out throughout the evening. This one was like 30 in a tiny apartment. Not tiny, but like in an apartment.
An apartment where 30 people shows. Because it's an open floor plan.
And so Millicent and I are coming to tell you that we had to continuously be like, okay, we're going to talk to people.
Yeah,
we're going to go up to that group of people. We have to approach that group of people. We've been talking to each other too long in the corner. It's time that we break out.
It's not okay for us.
The girlies are gathering. The girlies are gathering. There's a group of girlies. The second all the girlies kind of to the middle of the room, we were there.
Yeah, we were there right on the cusp. And it was also one of those one night only things of that's the beauty of a party oftentimes is that it's like a one night only thing and some of these people you'll follow on I'm like, what is this going to be? Am I going to follow you on Instagram and for years just be like, and I remember I met you at that one party.
Or are we going to meet up? I had one of the girls follow up and I didn't follow up with her and be like, let's hang.
Yeah,
let's do it.
We got to pull the trigger. And that's another thing that we are constant, like truly, when we are saying this stuff, we are not coming to you from a place of perfection by any means.
We're not coming to you being like, we're always doing this. We're saying it because these are reminders for us.
Yeah.
Because if
anything, it makes us it holds us even more accountable. But there were multiple moments where we really were like, okay, this is like both of us being like, this is a lot of people. It's again, we're eating a lot of imitation crab meat.
Imagine having like not social anxiety, but like you're in a party with a lot of people you don't know, and on top of that, you gotta eat imitation crab meat.
A lot of it.
You just got a punch card. We're punch carding our crab meat.
For every dish you get a punch card, and then you get a crown.
Because then you're a crab king.
Yeah.
Or queen.
So we both had like gotten around the party, but I think that's another essence of parties in general, and the POL and literal parties is it is a.
I know it's really on me. It's my friend.
It is a blatant opportunity and excuse to mingle in a way that is not the shallow networking of like, because in our in work, a lot of times you have an opportunity to mingle and that's amazing. But this is like a totally different kind of context.
Kind of feels so free.
This is the party version of you. Who's the party version of you? Yeah. Like you can
bring a little something to the table without being dishonest to who you are.
Yes. If it helps you to like, if it helps you to feel a little bit more protected walking into a space emotionally, to be like, I'm almost not putting on an act, but I'm putting forward.
You're putting on your party pants.
I'm putting my party foot forward.
My party pants on.
Ooh, yeah.
And so this means it's just a different pair of pants.
Yeah.
They're a little more glitzy, a little more bling.
And maybe when they swish in a way that makes you be like, no, that's nice.
And it gives you a little bit of confidence to be like, maybe for an hour and a half.
And your ass looks great in that.
Yeah. Shake it if it's that kind of party.
But this
was not that kind of party.
Yeah, but this was an excuse to mingle. And so also just so many cool and funny and interesting people. But one of the things that did happen when we got to the group of the girls was one of them had a flower on her forearm, which I love. Whenever people are like, oh, everybody has those tattoos or whatever, I'm like, I love that.
But I will say, like, yours feels more specific than just a
so then
flower.
I said, oh, I have like a flower on mine because she had a lilac. She had a lavender.
And it was like the same spot, same size.
And then another girl was like, oh my gosh, and pulled hers up and had the same tattoo also. And so we all got to, and this was after we'd already been talking about like, we'd already been saying like, doing a bit of, no, and we all stand with each other. And we are together.
Literally within 5 minutes had been like, we need to find the host and let him know if shit goes down, this clique is lasting.
We stay together.
We are blood sisters now.
We stand together. And then to realize that we had matching tattoos, amazing.
Linked forever.
Forever. And then we didn't talk to them again.
Not once. We didn't even say goodbye to them because it was so crowded. But it was like,
we had that moment. And I loved that moment.
And if I ever saw him again, I know we're in it. It was just such a wonderful, though, like, we put the effort forward to be like, we're getting in this group. We're going to just say something. It's like jumping in a pool.
Anybody who's at that party was like, those girls were so pushy. Weird. So weird, so pushy. They stood in the corner and then they'd lunge at a group and then go back to a corner to talk.
And talk about making blood packs and then leave. No, we genuinely had a great time. We behaved. And
we did.
We met so many people.
Maddie did something.
Yeah, I was
Maddie did something that an important thing to remember when you are attending any party or the POL is to remember, if you want to put on if you want to put your party pants on, make sure that you also still know yourself. Know the legs that are in the party pants, you know?
Yeah.
And know what you will and will not and can and cannot do. When, at the end of the night, the final crab, but wasn't it the final crab or something?
It was, yes, because if you've ever seen Hot Ones, it's the Hot Wing interview show. It's a great time. But the final question, they always do the final dab, and you're supposed to put like a ton of the last, like the spiciest hot sauce on your wing and just like go for it. And then
This was the final
it's
crab.
hot.
And we watched him with
Yeah,
a
he did
pair
a
of
little
kitchen
play on that.
scissors,
Final
cut up
crab.
imitation crab, douse it in Da Bomb sauce.
Doused it.
And instantly the moment that I hear that, I have said to Maddie before, there are probably 3 key things that I will not do. I can never be pressured into. Dance circles, freestyle rap battles,
Me, it's ice
and Hot
skating.
Ones ever.
Yeah.
Yours is ice skating?
I just don't want to do
I
it.
I didn't realize that you really felt that strongly about it.
I think I could come about it on my own naturally, and I want that freedom and that space to change my mind if I so choose to ice skate. But I just think it was a thing in college where I don't like it. It hurts my ankles. I'm not like, it's not that I'm fine at it, but I think I just kind of pretty quickly get bored at the level I'm at. I'm like, and I'm going to hurt myself. I'm not having enough fun to risk breaking my tailbone, and breaking my tailbone is such a real fear. And
Such
sorry,
a
I'm
real
talking
fear.
about fear holding me back, but I don't see the need to do it unless I need to ice skate.
Yeah.
So, overcoming the fear. Millicent said no. Which
I
is
instantly
fine.
stepped out, and that's okay because there are different ways to handle it. I was going to be a valiant observer.
And it was not like the majority of the party was doing it.
And I will say, too, I was actively trying to tell Maddie, you don't have to do this.
She was.
I was
being
like, you
kind
don't-
about it. My pal was there for me.
I was like, you don't have to do this. Truly, this is going to be painful. It's
I'm
not
imagining
fun.
this so dramatic. Like it is like
I'm blowing aside. I'm like, this is changing you.
I'm like
this isn't
I
you.
have to. I'm going into war. Yeah, because it may be 7, 8 people at the party are doing it. It's not everybody. Maybe 10. So it's fine to sit out. I have always said though, I've asked many times for my pal, and my pal said no, and I respect that. But then I've asked other friends who have said yes to do like a Hot Ones like night or challenge. Just because I like hot wings. I don't love spicy stuff, guys. I'm bad at spicy stuff. I'm not great with it. Like mild buffalo wings is like basically my cap. That's my enjoyable level of spicy. But I've always said I want to just try it one time. I just want to try the hot ones, see if I could do it. I've said that. And here is a chance. And I can't say no. I've said many times that I'm going to do it.
She has.
I got to, if not now.
Yeah. And frankly, I was glad that one of us was doing it, honestly, because it wasn't going to be me.
I was paying a token for, it was a bit of a gratitude for the party.
Yeah.
I will participate in this. Guys, everyone thought it was hot. But me?
We have the photo.
Thank God. Oh, I'll put it up. Thank God we were on our way out of that party because
My brother was.
My whole face was red.
Maddie literally did it, and then everybody was kind of like, yeah, and did it
And
together.
everyone was like,
Maddie
oh my
turns
God,
around,
it's hot. I'm crying. My eyes are watering. I've given up all hope that I'm not just going to be sobbing for the next 10
We've already
minutes.
got our jackets and stuff on, though. We're
I'm
ready
about
to go.
But they don't. They had like cold beer and stuff, but the sodas for like mixers were just left out. So I had to drink a warm Sprite. Not a warm, but like a room that's had 30 people in it, temperature Sprite. Not cooling my tongue off. I'm getting cold water
Sprite
from the
is like
faucet.
not.
No.
No.
It wasn't
You
doing
just,
it was
like-
helping, but it wasn't doing a ton.
You just do want milk. It
and
really
I
is.
kept going back to fill my water bottle. I was chugging my water. And every time I made that journey through the crowd to the sink, people would be like, oh my God, are you okay? Because my face was red.
Yeah, but then we left.
Then
and
we
you
left.
survived.
I
And
was honestly pretty fine by the time we got home.
I was really impressed.
Thanks, brother.
I was really impressed.
Thank you.
Seeing
I felt
you
really
stand
proud
there
of myself doing that.
with holding
the
between
little
two
things you-
fingers a slice of imitation crab meat
For a
doused
while.
in Da Bomb sauce.
I also was very worried that
Well-
I was going to touch my face with it because
Well,
it
then-
was on. It's on you. My fingers are burning.
It was
a little.
so strong that he had handed out the host who had held all of the crab meat had washed his hands but had handed out Hawaiian sweet rolls, and I had taken one, and as I was eating it I was like, oh my gosh, I can taste the
I had, like, a little.
my mouth was hurting. I have no tolerance for spice. None.
And guys, this was a
Not a drop.
lasting spice.
I would say the
Burning.
extent of my tolerance for spice is those it's like the Trader Joe's version of Takis. And even then I really can only handle so much. I'll buy a bag and
Yeah,
it'll
I
last me
love
like
those.
3 months
Those
because I'm
things
like
are so good. I honestly though, I think I did a pretty good job just kind of tossing it down my gullet.
Yeah. Don't
I
let
just
it hit the
threw
tongue
it to
too
the
much.
back. I didn't get it on my lips at all, which was
Yeah.
hugely beneficial.
Yeah, because the
That's
lips
the tough
is.
thing about wings. It's like all over your lips.
Yeah.
That's the burn.
If I ever did hot ones, I would turn into an absolute monster
I think
by
I
the
would,
third wing.
I think I would throw up.
Oh, I'd be throwing up. I'd be
like,
heaving.
have a
I would
bucket behind this table, or I walk.
You know me. I'd be just going. "Ah!" I would just be doing that while throwing up.
Have you seen the video of DJ Khaled quitting? And then he keeps being like, I never lose. I never quit. And Sean Evans, the host, is like getting angry. He's like, but you did just quit. You just quit on the show, and I'm doing this alone now. Because DJ Khaled on Hot Ones, he takes a bite of the first wing, which is the mildest. First wing, he freaks out. He freaks out. He storms off camera. He's like, this is a hoax. It's rigged. I quit. And then they eventually convince him to come back, but he refuses to do any more of the wings. But the rest of the interview, he won't stop being like, I'm 100. I never quit. I never fail. And Sean Evans is like, you just quit. You just quit on the show but 30 seconds ago.
He rocks.
He's awesome. Anyway, that was a party that we didn't let stop just because we did have a gathering of maybe like anxieties around.
Yeah. And then I think we had gone home, and didn't we have, wasn't Jillian coming over that night? Or we had something where we were like
was
meeting up,
planned,
and we were doing a movie after that. And it was like, dang,
This party is not stopping.
Party.
Sometimes
don't
we're just
stop
blown away
till
by it.
we
And if you
walk in.
and say at any point, so we encourage you with the party don't stop in terms of usage. In terms of, say the party is not stopped, but say you've looked away from it. Say you've been like, you've been in the corner for a while.
Maybe you're looking at somebody else's party too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Going, I'm out of that party.
The moment you see the opportunity, or you hear that beat coming from your chest, that you hear the call of the party.
I hope you dance.
It can be a small thing. It can be as small as being like, well, I have coffee. Like, I got to go get a coffee this morning. Say to yourself, the party don't stop.
Party don't
Say the party don't stop until the party is so loud.
stop.
It's so loud that the people around you can't help but join in.
The party don't stop. I'm going to say something that's going to kind of, it's not a mood shift because it's hopeful, but it's kind of starts with a downer. And I think
I saw you perching. And
I told you this. Yeah, I'm liking this position. I think I told you this. There was a video of a guy going around talking about how during the AIDS crisis, there's like a quote of they would bury their friends in the morning, protest in the afternoon, and dance all night. But it was like the dancing that is what kept them fighting and like kept their spirit alive. And that is just like, party don't stop. But we're here, we're doing it.
Yeah, there was a TikTok that I had shown Maddie because the comment section was great, of a girl being like asking other girlies for like, how do you inject like whimsy into your life?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Our dear sweet Sammy had tagged us in it, which was very sweet. Sammy.
Love you, Sammy.
But one of the comments was a girl being like, before I leave the house, I will put my headphones in my room, in whatever I'm wearing, and I will dance to one song. Like, I'll listen to one song and just dance in my room before I head out the door. And that,
freely dancing. I've been trying to get a daily dance going. I've pitched it a few times.
I think, Maddie,
I know. We need to start doing.
I do my own little
I've said
dance.
it, but we're also like, and I know we do it individually. That's why I'm saying I feel like it'd be fun just before, like, if we're going out to
them
get
being
coffee
like,
in the
they
morning, we're
both are
doing it.
individually in their rooms with their headphones on.
Sometimes, yeah. Do it.
Try it.
You're gonna
It's
love it.
awesome. I
Who's
told Maddie.
watching? No one.
I told Maddie that 2 days ago I was on my walk, and I was walking down the block, and I was listening to a song, and it was a newer song that I've been like just bopping to.
When you get
And-
a new song in your veins.
Yeah. And I had a slight urge to like, I just want to like spin. I just want to do like a little spin. I'm on the sidewalk right now.
a voice says, why
And then I was instantly kind of, but then I was like, well, no, I'm not. Like, I want to spin. I'm not going to spin. And then I was like, why am I not spinning right now? And then I had a whole block to go down. And I was like, by the time I get to the end of this block, people are like, they are insane.
I'm
By
saying
the
you hear the
time-
whisper of the pal.
I said, by the time I get to the end of this block, I'm going to do 3 spins. And the first one
We love a
felt really
goal.
uncomfortable and awkward.
Uh-oh.
And then the second one, I was like, oh. And then by the third
Feeling
one,
better
it honestly just felt natural to do a little spin. And I was just like walking, and then I just kind of did like it was really nice. And I think it was also just like after doing it, not having done it would have felt silly.
I would have been like, why not?
Yeah.
Why didn't I just allow myself that freedom? And this is what I was saying. I've pitched a few times, and I've never just like, we need to actually do it. Pitched doing a daily dance with Milson. Like, if we go out before, like, saying we're going to get coffee or something, just being like, let's just put sunglasses on. We don't even gotta look at each other. We're just free in our own space and moment. Just play one song. Just dance. Come on. I hope you dance.
Get up,
We really
let's
want to sing that
dance.
song for our friends.
We do. We
I
almost did it at our
hope
banquet
you
this past
dance.
year, but
It's too much coordination going on.
yeah, and the stage wasn't stable enough
It
to
wasn't
support
ready
what
for
we've been wanting
It
to
wasn't
do.
ready for I Hope You Dance level movement.
So the Palange guys.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, yeah, you thought you were getting off
Ooh.
easy. No, baby. The Palange for you, dear pals, is to RSVP to the party of life.
Give us that John Hancock.
Yeah, take up as much space as you want, even though it's going to technically,
Well, we have two versions of this RSVP.
Yeah.
There's the RSVP in terms of for us, if we
First,
may.
Well, let's just get this out of the way. We would love you to go to heytherepals.com and RSVP for the Party of Pals.
By the time this comes up, I will have a pop-up that will come on when you go onto the website. And I'm not going to keep the pop-up forever, I swear, because I hate pop-ups. But we'll have a little pop-up that comes on that's an RSVP for the Party of Pals.
You can just put your email in if you want. You might get merch updates. You might get
merch updates, but we swear if you whatever emails you're getting, it'll be little notes from us, and also we will not be sending a lot. We can actually promise you that.
Yeah.
If you've ever sent us an email and it's taken months to get responses, you'll understand. We're not going to be spamming.
We don't
you.
got the time.
Yeah, but heytherepals.com, and you can leave your email. The other one,
The one that
The
you
metaphor.
can do in your life is take a moment. Whatever you have to do today and say the party don't stop and mean it. Feel it. What are the things about this party that's getting you excited? Are you going to see a friend? Are you going to have a good dinner tonight? Are you going to get to have maybe some quiet time to read?
how are you going to bring the party into your life? How are you going to bring how are you going to bring the party out of your life?
Be the guy that brings the energy to a party where you open the door and you're not expecting anything, but you say, hey, and you're bringing a case of beer, and not only are you saying hey, everyone else in the room is going, hey. We do
Doesn't
that
that
for Papa a lot.
rock?
When
Isn't
Papa
that-
would come over when we didn't live with her.
Yeah. Papa
We
would
had a little
knock on the
chant.
door because Papa used to be a bartender. And we had a chant because there was the 2 years where she wasn't living with us.
No.
She lived with us the first year. 2 years didn't live with us. And then, but in those 2 years, we actually spent more time with her in those 2 years than we did the first
She was
year.
always traveling.
But
She would come over a lot.
and she'd always have some drink that she was going to make us. And she'd be chanting, who wants a drink? Who wants a drink? And we would always.
And
and
just,
it
we love
also
a
is
battle cry.
It is. It's a rally cry for sure.
And that's the energy you want to bring to a party. And again, the energy in here. It could be a quiet chant. You're going to read your book, you're chanting, oh yeah, thank you,
Oh,
life.
yeah.
This is a party.
I'm worried the camera's gonna die before we do a final outro. Is this our final outro? Are we saying goodbye
You want to
quickly?
come back?
I
We
feel
can
like
come back.
have we said it all? I feel like we
I
maybe
feel
have said
like
it all.
we've said it all. I think we could say goodbye.
Pals, I think we can say
Pals,
goodbye.
we'll give you a final and say, party don't stop.
Potty don't.
Pals. Oh, yeah.